We are moving on to the next item, which is the keynote address. In our midst, we have Mkhize, Nomalungelo, from the Auditor-General of South Africa, who's a qualified or a chartered accountant, qualified 2006. She currently holds the position of business unit leader at the Auditor-General SA for the KZN office, responsible for overseeing all audits conducted within KwaZulu-Natal province. Her career as a qualified chartered accountant spans over 18 years in the private and public sector, holding various roles in senior and executive management, including as an audit professional, a consultant, and senior finance professional. Her career within the public sector and current role at the Auditor General's office has afforded her the opportunity to work towards making a positive impact within public sector and the culture therein. It has allowed her to contribute towards being part of the solution needed to address the challenges facing the country. In her words, she says, "My efforts are focused on making a difference in South Africa, not just my generation, but for the future generations, including my own children and their descendants." Her position for education and development of young minds has seen her serving on the executive committee of KZN branch of AGSA, which is the Association for Advancement of Black Accountants in Southern Africa, as its chairperson and member. As second vice president in the national office, the Uptake Committee within SAICA, Eastern region, and as the chairperson of the board of governors at a local school in Pinetown. She currently serves on the SAICA Eastern Region Council. Let's put our hands together for Mkhize Nomalungelo from AGSA. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow, I feel so old. Just going to do a quick test. All right, thank you. Good morning everyone. Good morning colleagues, distinguished delegates. A special greeting to the President, outgoing President, Dr. Ngcobo, the board of SIGFARO, the CEO, and also the outgoing interim CEO, executive management of SIGFARO. And I'd really like to thank you for the invitation today. We do have a long-standing partnership with SIGFARO. As you're reading through my profile, I suddenly felt, yes, I am old. I also benefited today, Dr. Ngcobo, from the podium. Recently I think it was in January, I did a presentation. And then I was looking at the pictures and found that actually probably people couldn't see me because the podium was so high, I didn't have quite the step, and my whole face was basically blocked by the microphone. So I'm also very glad that you probably can see me. And yes, even in our old age, so it is me. But thank you so much for the invitation. And as you saw, as you heard in my bio, mine is really to make a difference however I can in the improvement of public sector, and that is how I find myself in the office of the Auditor-General leading the KZN office. So I'm going to get started on the presentation that I've been asked to do, which is reflecting on the topic on how technology can enhance assurance, service delivery, and performance. In our collective responsibility, to ensure efficient and effective governance, municipalities do play a pivotal role in delivering public services. And as assurance providers, we must leverage on technology to not only enhance service delivery, but also to ensure accountability, transparency, and improved outcomes for citizens. Our mandate comes from the South African Constitution. We deliver on this mandate by providing independent assurance to various stakeholders on whether government entities that use public funds have actually managed their financial affairs in line with financial principles. whether they have complied with relevant legislation or legal framework, and have provided credible information on the achievement of their financial and performance objectives. Everything that we do, whether it is in the audits that we conduct, the insights that we share, particularly through our general report, our elevated focus on service delivery or the lived reality of South Africans in our audit of performance reporting, or the material irregularities that we do issue, it is really to enable oversight, accountability, and governance, to build public confidence in government to deliver services efficiently, effectively, and economically. It is therefore our strategic intent to make a more direct, consistent, and meaningful impact on improving the lives of ordinary South Africans. So that really captures our mission and our vision. So in terms of assurance, I'm sure as delegates sitting here, we truly understand what assurance is about. From the perspective also of the AGSA, assurance refers to the independent and objective assessment of whether public institutions are achieving on their objectives, complying with regulations, and managing public resources effectively. At the AGSA, we do deliver this through our financial audits that we perform, performance audits, compliance audits as well. As an office, our work, we support legislatures and councils in holding the executives accountable and give citizens confidence as well in governance. AGSA is an assurance provider, or one of the assurance providers, executes over 1,000 audits annually, and you'll see on the slide there the split. So we have about 320 or more, actually, MFMA audits. That number is probably reflecting on your general report, what we call the general reports applicable, which are bigger audits, but that number is more than that. So we perform over 300 MFMA audits annually. We cover all three spheres of government, with local government being one of them. Our constitutional mandate is that of strengthening democracy by enabling oversight, accountability, and governance through auditing. We are also recognized by the World Bank and serve as the external auditors of some of the big organizations, such as the African Union and UNESCO, which is a testament to the credibility of the work that we do. So looking at what we are advocating for as Office of the Auditor-General, in this particular slide we reflect on what we have termed PATI as an acronym, which is Performance, Accountability, Transparency, and Institutional Integrity. Technology can play a pivotal role in transforming the culture of local government, fostering greater performance, accountability, transparency, and institutional integrity. In an era where digital tools are reshaping industries and governance structures, it is very much essential for local governments to also leverage on technology to enhance service delivery, communication, and operational efficiency. Local government, as we know, is a sphere of government that is closest to ordinary South Africans. It provides the basic services that have a direct impact on their lives. It is meant to be an inclusive, democratic, and accountable system enabled by transparency and strong institutional integrity, with communities and community organizations acting as shareholders that are directly involved in local government matters through public participation processes. Technology plays an incredibly vital role in enabling these values, helping local governments engage citizens, streamline operations, and ensure effective service delivery. As an office, we advocate for a culture of performance, accountability, transparency, and institutional integrity, all of which can be enhanced through the strategic use of technology, ultimately leading to improved service delivery and a better quality of life for the people of South Africa. So whilst we advocate for this culture in local government sphere, the sphere of government being the municipalities, we then speak to the accountability ecosystem within local government. As South Africa's supreme audit institutions, our role is to audit all municipalities, all municipal entities in the country, and to report on what we have found. Through our reports, we inform councils on the quality of their financial statements and performance reports, status of compliance with legislation, and whether we have identified any material irregularities. We also look at areas that can contribute significantly to a municipality's success, such as financial health, performance management, infrastructure, development and maintenance, control environments including IT controls, information technology controls, procurement and contract management, consequence management, and aspect of environmental management. Probably a number of you sitting in this room would have experienced how our audits have evolved over the years, and how we are involved particularly in looking at service delivery, because we believe that is a true mandate of local government, and we are here to also partner with municipality or partner with government to ensure that this mandate is delivered on. So as risk officers or internal auditors, performance practitioners in the municipalities, we show this particular ecosystem to also identify key role players, and the delegates in this room become some of the key role players for us to effectively improve on service delivery. As I've mentioned, with the AGSA in the middle that we audit, we provide insights, and with these insights, hope that your influence into action to improve the lived reality of South Africans. And of course, when we have issued a number of recommendations over a number of years and not much is done, we then move towards enforcement. So risk officers or performance practitioners and internal auditors play a key role or have a key role to play in the accountability ecosystem in enhancing assurance and service delivery, thus impacting the lived realities of ordinary citizens. Risk management is about identifying potential obstacles to achieving municipal objectives. Probably there is a more academic definition to that, but I have summarized it as such. And we are saying that by using technology in predictive analytics, scenario analyses with real-time data, municipalities can identify risks earlier and be able to take proactive measures. This approach does help also the internal auditors to focus on those high-risk areas, leading to more targeted audits and timely interventions. IT tools such as risk management software, data visualization dashboards can streamline this process, enhancing the decision-making and responsiveness of both risk officers and auditors. Performance is about the tracking and reporting on municipal service delivery. Manual data systems often lead to errors and delays in decision-making. By adopting digital tools like dashboards and data analytics platforms, municipalities can enhance the accuracy and timeliness of service delivery tracking. We have observed in some entities where leveraging data successfully at local, provincial, and national government level. I touch on one example, at least at a later stage. Tools such as business intelligence or Power BI tools can provide real-time insights into areas, for an example, on issues of revenue management, where you are able to go into the ERP system, analyzing the data of debtors and seeing maybe where your collections are not coming through or where the billings may be having issues, and being able to attend to those on a more timely manner before getting to the end of the financial year and realizing that you have a challenge insofar as revenue is concerned. But also more so is that also these can also start highlighting some of the challenges, maybe infrastructure. And I made an example having a conversation with a colleague that once you've analyzed the data and you're seeing that there are the billing issues or collection issues, it could be that the customers in that ward are no longer getting revenue water, I would call it that, because either they've tapped into your infrastructure, so water is running there, but you're not getting the money in. It's also then a way that you can timely attend to the issues maybe of infrastructure by using technology. Legislation, the MFMA in particular, requires establishment and provides for the roles and responsibilities of the internal audit function. We have moved towards a great focus on the role of internal audits within the municipalities, particularly in dealing with matters or issues that we are raising during our external audits. We want them to be, more involved in addressing the issues during the year, even before the external auditors come through. I always say it is better that your sister tells you that the dress you're wearing is just not it, than waiting for somebody from the outside to tell you. And I would hope that The delegates within this room have got quite a great role to play, or are playing that effective role within their municipalities. And for those that are not within the audit, internal audit or risk management space, that you will share the message that the recommendations that are passed by internal audit really need to be heeded and acted upon, so that by the time the external auditors come being our office, there is less to the dirty laundry out there, because when the AG comes, all your findings are out there for all to see. So the legislation does provide for the establishment of the internal audit function, including the audit committees, the key roles and responsibilities, including providing independent assessment of the auditee's governance, risk management, and internal control processes, including advising accounting officer and reporting to audit committees, including reporting on matters that are relating to internal audits and internal controls within municipalities. I will not go through each and every one of them as it is sitting in the legislation. Technology can also help internal auditors automate compliance checks. Dr. Ngcobo spoke of using CATs, your computer-assisted auditing techniques, detecting non-compliances earlier or flagging the risks, automating routine tasks so that your internal auditors have got more time in dealing with high-risk areas that actually need their time rather than dealing with the routine task, conducting real-time audits of transactions. A number of municipalities have got sophisticated ERP systems and GIS systems, and these can be interrogated so that you are able to identify and address the risk. I've already spoken to the use of tools such as Power BI. So these are some of the areas that we are saying that let us leverage on technology that is available, the fact that there are ERP systems that we also leverage on that very fact, and some are quite integrated in some of the municipalities. Before us is a slide that speaks to some of the outcomes. It is a 2022-2023. It's not 23-24, as probably you would expect. We are yet to table our general report for the 2023-2024 audit, but we thought we would bring some of the information here. So as I've indicated, that all municipalities use information technology systems for financial functions and reporting, but we're also finding that the governance and controls are still weak. Systems are not being used to their full potential. We are finding a number of systems also within the municipalities that may not be integrated, and I think it does then create the impediment in the assurance providers or assurance services within municipalities in being able to then leverage off technology in using some of the tools. Some of the findings that are coming through in that the controls are still weak is that there is a lack of skills. There is over-reliance with limited oversight on software providers, and low focus has also been placed at the municipal manager or council level to understand the benefits, the risk, and cost of information technology. The insights that we are sharing before you include findings such as unfunded budgets and overspending, so not understanding areas of revenue management challenges, which internal audit could also assist with, but also from a risk management perspective. We may find that you are budgeting based on revenue that you would never receive because you haven't been able to also utilize technology to interrogate the historical data to either predict and be able to budget more effectively. Weaknesses in revenue management, as I've mentioned, and the tools that can be used there by the assurance providers to try and address some of the challenges. We've also reported on financial losses, where local government is losing billions annually to poor decisions, neglect, or inefficiencies. Fruitless and wasteful expenditure is continuing to increase, so other things such as penalties, or interest, where we find in other instances there isn't a system to ensure that taxes are being paid in time. So the systems are still very manual, whether you're tracking invoices or you're tracking statements or other transactions, ensuring that these are recorded on time. So the question is, could you utilize technology to then improve on such situations? Weaknesses in project management have also been the cause for financial losses. Where one speaks of service delivery, this is where it all happens in the delivery in terms of project management. Can municipalities then leverage off technologies in the area to minimize these losses? Better and faster collation of information such as payment certificates, GPS, GIS information, and images to confirm delivery of infrastructure or progress before payments are being made. Also, issues of fraud that is uncovered, that is committed by officials, which utilize the loopholes of manual systems in document management, so not having the tools to be able to identify these anomalies early on and being able to deal with them. So these are some of the findings, and really the question is, what tools would be available to better assist in minimizing the financial losses, but also on the issue of financial losses, because we also understand that digitization or improvement in information technology systems requires money. Better management of some of these losses could then unlock the very needed funding for then the improvement of these IT systems that could be utilized by the assurance providers, performance practitioners, and risk managers as well. In the issue of performance, our findings are that there is well-defined or legislated systems of performance planning, management, and reporting in local government to ensure transparency and accountability in service delivery performance. However, these systems are not implemented as designated. We are finding there's inadequate performance management systems and error-prone manual systems. A number of times we have found reported performances that are not supported by evidence. So the challenge of having manual systems of collating evidence to support performance, meaning that also during the year, if that is a challenge, when we come at the end of the year, one then wonders about the decision-making that will then be happening during the year from those inadequate record-keeping systems. So again, can technology then be utilized to improve these areas to assist decision-makers within municipalities, particularly in service delivery? We've also noted reporting on delivery is not credible. So the unreliability of the reported achievements, completeness and accuracy of evidence for reporting on performance of municipality. Great amount of time is being spent ensuring that information is there and checked, and a number of times we are finding that because of the manual processes, these are inadequate, and the question is, can technology then not be an area that municipalities invest in to better manage this evidence collation, and then internal audits being able to provide assurance real time or in a more timely manner on the performance management of, or in the performance of municipalities. One of the examples that was given during audits as we were having discussions in our office, such things as delivery of housing, when systems are quite manual, how many lists are going around? So you've already built your housing, but now you're not sure who to give them to because it's about 3 lists. And because there isn't a centralized way of collating all of that information that is more accurate, and you being able to deliver or at least allocate the housing to the beneficiaries, but also for the assurance providers being able to test that, the credibility and accuracy of those lists. So these are some of the simple examples that we are finding on the ground as we go around auditing, where things are quite manual, and we are really saying that we do need to look at how we can utilize, technology for better efficiency, decision-making, but also on service delivery. So this is just an example on infrastructure delivery and maintenance, and I've already spoken earlier about using such things as GIS, GPS, and some of the tools that could be used, collation of information such as payment certificates, how the assurance service providers within the municipalities can be able to utilize these. We've also noted findings in the IT environment, as I've indicated earlier. The controls in the information technology environment are an integral part of the municipality's control environment. Over the years, we have identified significant control weaknesses in local government's information technology environment, which comprise accuracy of financial records and at times interrupt service delivery. Information systems that municipalities use to manage their finances and to enable financial reporting and monitoring have significant control weaknesses, making them vulnerable to either unintentional or intentional manual overrides and manipulation. And I think when you have more manual systems or a number of systems within a municipality, it even becomes more challenging to pick up on any overrides or manipulation as you go about trying to assist municipalities in terms of providing assurance on financial reporting. We focused in 2022-2023 on information technology governance and controls. We looked at 35 municipalities and found that 51% of them had ineffective governance processes and 62% had weak security controls, also an area that we are advocating for internal audit to be more involved in providing assurance around the systems to better equip leadership to make decisions that will improve on service delivery. One of the interesting things we found was on the M-score, which became effective in July 2017. So again, in the 2022-2023 cycle that we looked at, we still found that majority, or at least a number of the metros, were still not fully integrating all the planning, budgeting, transacting, and reporting requirements by the M-score. So if those are some of the challenges that are being experienced by the metros, one then wonders about the rest of the municipality that may be constrained by funds as well. I will not go through all the details in terms of the findings, as Dr. Ngcobo has indicated, that the slides will be made available for some of the findings that we raised, what we believe were the root causes from the work that we had done, and how these impact then the municipalities. So moving on, as I move towards the end of my presentation, is why we believe technology is critical to accelerating service delivery, to be available for use by assurance providers within the municipalities. Some of the areas we are citing is that it does improve on audit efficiency and coverage, enabling the automation of audit processes. It increases the speed, the depth, and the scope of the work that is being done. We have seen that it benefits us as the AGSA, and we are saying that these could be some of the positive spin-offs from utilizing technology. Through the tools like CAT, as I've already alluded to, we are able to analyze larger data sets for more accurate insights for your municipalities. Decision-making is more efficient. It's based on more current or credible information. Municipalities are using sophisticated ERP systems that can be interrogated using technology for audit purposes. So rather than using the traditional sampling methods and going out to 5 sites of your municipality, picking up invoices and the like, if you're able to interrogate the data that is sitting in your ERP systems, it directs you to the more risky areas, and you're able to also get additional or more coverage. Of course, you must have then systems on the ground to be able to collate all the data required, whether you are requiring people to be scanning in their invoices so that they're available to you for auditing real time. That is one area. Real-time monitoring, such as technologies such as GIS, dashboards, and centers allow assurance providers to track infrastructure project and service delivery reliability on a live basis. You're moving from a retrospective to a more continuous assurance, which enhances then the ability to monitor service delivery on an ongoing basis. I think we found that when we did the flood audits, it was appreciated because, you were auditing as you moved along. And I think that is what, is one of the things that we get a lot of the time, that can it not be something that is ongoing. And I've already made the example of using your business intelligence tools to monitor revenue management or infrastructure challenges. Use of technology strengthens early warning systems. Artificial intelligence, predictive analytics help detect patterns of risk and non-performance early on, enabling municipalities to then act proactively and improve outcomes before failures occur. It enhances capacity. We do understand that a number of municipalities are constrained in terms of resources, particularly human resources. So when you are then able to use technology to enhance your capacity by automating the repetitive tasks, as I've already mentioned, allowing staff to focus on high-risk areas, using technology in enhancing record keeping, uploading of real-time data on service delivery, interrogating such systems to assist performance management, and addressing the gaps and providing reliable and credible information to leadership for decision-making on service delivery. We've already highlighted what the challenges we pick up as we do our audits insofar as manual processes are concerned. It also enhances accountability and transparency. Real-time data platforms also improve audit trails and access to information. Citizens can also monitor service delivery, report failures, and engage more meaningfully. And I think in terms of reporting failures, some of the municipalities have implemented such things as, one, being able to take a picture of a pothole. It gives you your coordinates, and you're able to report on that. Obviously, the speedy response to some of those issues as well. Within the KZN province, on one of the audits that we did, we found that the development of the Digital Information Integration Hub by the Office of the Premier was an example of how digital advancement can enhance local government operations. By automating manual data processes, the hub provides real-time, accurate information on critical infrastructure projects. The implementation of such initiatives not only streamlines data collection, but also ensures that there's more efficient decision-making, contributing to improved service delivery within local government. Understanding the challenges of cost and availability of funds to invest in digitization in the local government space, initiatives such as these that are being rolled out at provincial level could assist in then bridging that gap wherein municipalities can tap into those and use the already developed tools for efficiency in planning, monitoring, reporting, and also for audit services. While we are calling on the public sector overall to leverage of technology to better deliver services, we as an office as well are continuing on enhancing our use of technology to deliver on our mandate, such as investing in intelligent automation to streamline our processes, data and analytics, unlocking our powerful insights, artificial intelligence and driving smart audit solutions, and also cloud technologies, enabling secure and flexible data management. As I then move to my last slide and move towards closure, in our 2022-2023 audit, we identified certain root causes. I will not go through the detail of those as they would have been shared in our general report, but this particular slide highlights them, that we needed to address the issue of inadequate skills and capacity, governance failures, and a lack of accountability and consequences. What I want to highlight insofar as our recommendations around professionalizing and capacitating local government is that we called councillors and mayors to develop plans and monitor implementation to capacitate key units in the administration responsible for management of finances, information technology, performance, and infrastructure, but also when it comes to the offices of the internal auditors, and also ensuring that these are capacitated by individuals or skilled individuals that can then bring through some of the knowledge on these tools that could be used for more efficient delivery of the assurance services that they are mandated to respond to. and capable institutions with, or also ensuring that there's capable institutions with intergovernmental support. I've already made the example of a provincial office, being the Office of the Premier, where they worked towards developing tools that could be of assistance across all spheres. It's not just for provincial government, but also at a local government level. And the culture of ethics and accountability, we called on the leadership to attend to that by the municipal managers, audit committees, and MPAC members to properly monitor that internal controls are being adhered to, risks are being managed, and the outcomes are achieved. Early detection allows for swift and timely correction and will prevent financial and performance management failures. So as I sit down, thank you so much, but my parting shot is that technology is not just modernizing either our office, but is about transforming the public accountability landscape. We do need to work together to ensure that assurance becomes a driver of public confidence, service delivery, and good governance. I'd like to thank you for the attention given and wish you a wonderful time as you deliberate further on some of these topics that I believe will take us forward in efficiency and improving on service delivery, thus impacting on the lived reality of the people of South Africa. Thank you.